What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Night Terror's Robin issue number 1, with a story written by Kenny Porter. What we have seen so far from the Night Terror's lines is all of our heroes, all of our villains, they are living out their worst nightmares. All of this because of the new villain known as Insomnia. He has put the world to sleep while he is searching for the Nightmare Stone to take the Nightmare Realm into the waking world. To find this stone, he must search the dreams and nightmares of all heroes and villains alike. And while he does this, all of the heroes and villains, they are experiencing their worst nightmares. And in this issue, it is going to be Tim Drake and Jason Todd, two of our Robins, going into their dreamscape, going into the Nightmare Realm. And we are gonna see exactly what it is that is their biggest fear, what haunts them in their dreams, what comes for them when they close their eyes. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we jump into Night Terror's Robin, we are picking up at Gotham City Shopping Mall. We have our Robin, Tim Drake. He is jumping right into the fray, with bullets zipping past him. He starts to take down the goons one by one, with him being in communication with Oracle. Oracle is saying that you haven't checked in a couple days, that you should probably give yourself a break, to take a freaking day off. But Tim Drake goes on to say that he's perfectly fine, that Batman didn't take a night off and neither will he, to go ahead and check on somebody that might actually need you. And so she checks in with Jason Todd. Oracle going in talking about the heroin shipment that he has been tracking, trying to give him any support, any knowledge that might be useful. As Jason Todd loads up his rubber bullets, he hangs up without saying a single word to her. And as he heads out, we see that purple smoke coming in, the one from Insomnia. It begins to take over the entire city. Nobody is safe. With both of our Robins being hit by Insomnia, we see the two of them both fall into what seems to be the same dream, the same nightmare. As they take a look around, they see that something is very off. It takes a few moments, but Tim Drake quickly recognizes that they are in some kind of dream realm. Not really sure how to test if this is a dream or not. Jason Todd smacks the crap out of Tim Drake, saying that he did this the last time that he had a dream with Tim in it. Except on that occasion, Tim had turned into a bunch of cartoon birds, but with Tim spitting out a bunch of his teeth. This helps him understand that this is a nightmare. Having all your teeth fall out is a very common nightmare. And he has also come to the understanding that there is a possibility that they could die in here. That if they die in this dream, they die in real life. As the scenery around them begins to change, they find themselves in a graveyard, a hand grabbing hold of each of them and taking down their own paths, with Tim letting Jason know to simply stay alive and I'll find you. This is what picks us up with Tim Drake in an apartment, his father's apartment. Back in the days of Identity Crisis issue number 5, this is the day that his father tried to fight Captain Boomerang. Tim Drake running down the hall trying to save his father. We pick up with Jason Todd, and as Jason Todd walks around, a shadowy figure from behind him, taking a crowbar and hitting him in the back of the head. Jason Todd is facing against the original Red Hood. And so as he fights off this, Tim Drake making his way to his father, but he is already too late. His father telling him that he should have tried harder, that he is supposed to save people. This is where we see a monstrous figure, almost like an evil Captain Boomerang. He begins to taunt Tim Drake, letting him know that he couldn't save anybody, that he couldn't save his father, and now he won't be able to save himself. Restarting this little situation, ending up back in his father's apartment. He can hear his father screaming for help. And so Tim Drake, he plays the game. He goes to try and save his father again. while Jason Todd, he is just getting one heck of a beatdown from Red Hood. But with Red Hood pulling out his pistol, he shoots the original Red Hood with a rubber bullet, trying to find some kind of escape. As he goes to make his getaway, he sees his mom has been conjured up, having no idea what is going on. When he turns around, this is where he finds 3 of the original Red Hoods, multiplying in numbers, going from 3 to 5 to 8. He raises up his guns and he begins to fire away, doing everything he can to hold them off for as long as he can. While Tim Drake, on the other hand, he has tried 52 times, and not a single time has he been able to save his father. At this point, Tim Drake goes for the man that is doing all of this. But Tim gets kicked so hard it sends him flying back into the fridge. As he looks up, this is where he sees Stephanie, Batman, Nightwing, and the others. But they're not here to save him or help him. They say that they are here to stop this, thinking that he could have it all, that he could be the best Robin there ever was, telling him to stay back before he gets anybody else killed. As he goes chasing after them, what he finds is a room where all his loved ones have been murdered, a boomerang in each of their chests. Robin goes running into his room, jumping on his bed and curling up, screaming, terrified, petrified. All of it has been building up. He shouts to the heavens for it to shut up. And this is where he hears Jason. Calling out to Jason, Jason is in a whole situation of his own. While they're now able to communicate, neither of them know how to get to one another, and Jason is surrounded by an army of the original Red Hoods. He tells Tim that he better come up with an idea and he better do it quick, because this is the end of the line. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely not a bad issue. I like the idea that Tim and Jason are going into the same nightmare. They kind of got dropped into the same nightmare, but they got split apart. Now, obviously, the two can communicate. They're eventually gonna make it back to one another. And with there being so many Robins out there, it's really hard to do an individual Robin line and give everybody a little bit of what they want. But we know that Nightwing is getting his own line, Damian has his backup story in the back of Batman's story, and so we're getting a little bit more of the Robins here. Maybe not all the pupils of Batman, but a good handful of them. We are seeing what the worst nightmare is. Of course, for Jason Todd, that is going to be the one and only Red Hood, the original Red Hood. And for Tim Drake, it's not being able to save his father. It's being dismissed by the other Robins and Batman. You know, at this point, I've said it multiple times, I was not expecting a lot to come out of Night Terrors. I was expecting this to be, a rather mediocre series or event. But man, has this been good so far. Almost every single issue of this is hitting. Now, I'm definitely one for a more darker story, and that's exactly what Night Terrors is giving us. Their biggest fears, their biggest regrets, the things that they are terrified of, the things that they hide from everybody else. All of this is coming up to the surface, and we are truly seeing what happens to our heroes when their worst fears are brought right in their face. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories, if you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Night Terrors. Go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.